What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another fishing adventure. So today we're setting up a brand new fish tank. Now in the last video I set up this fish rack. So we got a 35 gallon here, 20 gallon here, and some 5 gallons up here. So in the last video I kind of set up this tank, but this tank is not gonna have what's in here. It's not gonna have these rocks, it's not gonna have these fish. There are 2 blue Johanny in here, and these guys are super aggressive and they eat plants. Now this tank right here is gonna be all plants. So these cichlids and all these rocks are coming out and they're gonna be put into this tank here. So in this video, this is what we're setting up. So cichlids love rocks. They're very territorial. They will pick a spot and it is their spot, and if any other fish tries to get in that spot, they chase them off. But I'm just telling you that because these fish like to have their little hiding spots. So we need rocks, we need hiding spots. I kind of set this up real quick, but it has a whole bunch of different holes everywhere for them to go. So like, I really like this setup, but I also kind of want a arch. I guess in a way that is an arch, but something a little bit bigger. Now I did go out and collect a bunch of rocks. We got some rocks here that are kind of tan. And then we got these rocks as well that are mostly white. So my plan for this is to do a black gravel substrate and then mostly a white rock. I think that will really pop with the colorful cichlids I'm going to be putting in this tank. So that is somewhat the plan. I'm just going to mess around with rocks, throw them in this tank, see what I can come up with, and see if we can come up with something cool. So I grabbed some of these rocks here and started making a arch, just gluing it together. And I was like, you know what? I better start filming this because it is actually getting somewhere, actually looking pretty good. By the way, I'm using super glue and baking soda to glue all this together. I saw videos of people using cotton balls or like cigarette butts and super glue, and I tried that and it just didn't work. So I knew super glue and baking soda worked really well together. Used it while making fishing lures. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try that, and it works so much better, so much faster. Now I did research and it said baking soda was safe in your fish tank, and then also said super glue was safe in your fish tank once it cures. But I could not find super glue and baking soda together if that was safe in your fish tank. But oh my lord, I don't see why it wouldn't be. So I'm assuming it's safe for a fish tank. If they're safe separately, then they should be safe together. Just dropped a lot of baking soda on the ground. So here is the arch. I think it looks pretty awesome. I'm happy with how it came out. I glued it all together and went and washed it off again, let it soak in water for about 30 minutes. Alright, so we got the arch inside the tank. I am liking it. I was also thinking, I have this flat rock here. I was thinking of doing something like this. It'll be on the back side, but having this rock tilted like that behind it, so you still have that little opening right here for fish to swim through, but then you still have a cave down below. Or I can just make the whole thing the cave. But first things first, I know I'm going to need to add some rocks to the back of this just so it can stand up. Right now it's leaning on the back of the glass. I think I only have 2 more tubes of super glue, so that's not good. Gotta make sure we have enough for tonight. It's like 3 in the morning, by the way. I should probably put something protective over this table so I'm not scratching it up. There's that. And it already stands up. Awesome. So I'm finding rocks that fit close together, have a lot of contact spot. I mean, these 2 rocks are almost perfect. It's kind of crazy. So I got the 2 end rocks attached. It is now standing on its own. It is nice and strong and balanced. So I just got the base of the backside all glued together, and I set this rock up just like this, and it almost fits perfectly. I mean, it does fit perfectly right in there. That looks pretty good, and it makes the letter A. That's pretty freaking cool. And we have the little hole the fish can swim through. Or this, and I think the A looks a whole lot cooler than this. Alright, so I got the rock formation all glued together for the cichlid tank, but I will talk about that in a second because there's a quick interruption. Now the beta tank, I had a male and a female in here, and I woke up this morning, went to go feed these guys, and I realized the male, the red one, was being super aggressive to the female. I was like, why is he doing that? Then I realized there's eggs. The female finally hatched her eggs. About freaking time. So that is awesome. But that means now I need to separate the female out of here. There she is right there. hiding back there in the back, poor little thing. See all those white things in the bubbles? Those are the eggs. Pretty freaking awesome. You can see the male right there protecting them. Doing his job. See him flaring up? That's not good. Knock it off, quit. So I need to take her out and put her in the original tank. Now I wasn't ready for this, it's not set up yet. I was gonna move the cichlids first and then get these guys. It is time. All right, we got some rock here. Also got some sand, but I don't think I'm gonna be using sand. Well, actually, I would like to put plants in here. I don't know, this is just temporary. Just gotta do it quick. Get that female out of there. All right, so I'm just gonna start with this gravel. I'm just gonna dump this gravel back in here. Give the female beta some substrate. I'll take one of the houses out of here. I'm gonna dump it all because I want beneficial bacteria to grow on this rock. And whenever we actually move the beta back in here, I'll switch it up and put half of it on this other side. Look at that, look how aggressive he's being. Quit, dude. All right, I need to go get some water, but I need to see how hot it needs to be. I'm not sure what temp this is at. All right, I got about 2 millimeters of water conditioner. 2 millimeters will treat 4 gallons. This is only about 2.5 gallons. And this water temp is at 78. So I need to match that with this water I'm throwing in here. So we don't have to acclimate the fish or anything. It's just ready to go. All right, so I got some fake plants here. Again, in the future, I do want to put soil in here and live plants, but just in the meantime, just for now, I'm gonna throw in some fake plants I got just to give the beta some structure right off the bat. There's that. What do we got? I'm going to steal this house. Oh, she's in there. Sorry, buddy. Good thing, huh? She likes the house, so needs to be in here. There's the house and a few more plants. Let's go with this. Got a bunch of these. We'll throw one here. How we looking? How we looking? Structure, sure. That is good enough. That's a 3-minute setup right there. Now we got the treated water. I will need another 1.5 gallons or so. Oh, there's air in that rock. This should fill it up to the top, or at least to that waterfall. Yep, there it goes. I'm just gonna pour it all, just to have a little bit of water structure on the backside to hold that divider, because I don't want it to crack or break or do anything like that. All right, so there is our quick, literally 3-minute setup for this beta. It's getting chased around right now, so we don't have much time. We gotta rescue this guy. I will help you survive. Easy catch. Welcome to your new home, buddy. It is safe. No males to chase you around. Look at her tail. Her tail looks horrible. There's from the male beating her up. Alright, but he can no longer do that. They were separated. Let's see if she'll eat. I'm keeping all the food and stuff in here. Oh yeah, she's hungry after having them babies. I see a lot of eggs right there. Man, it's gonna be so cool. So we got these guys separated. We can get back to the cichlid tank. Now, like I said, I finished the rock formation. Let me take it out and I'll show y'all what I did. So here is the cave. We got the swim hole, we got the cave down here, and on the back side I put a hole here and a hole here because I did not want to make a fish trap. If a fish swims underneath here, let's say the lights turn off, it gets dark or whatever, I don't want the fish to not be able to get out of here, or I don't want a fish to die under here and me not ever see it because it's stuck underneath this cave. Don't want that at all. So there is the finished archway slash cave slash tunnels. Looking pretty good, looking pretty cool. Now I need to go ahead and throw in some substrate into this tank. I got this box of sand here. It is pre-washed. I want about maybe an inch and a half of sand because cichlids do like to dig in the sand, make little tunnels and all that good stuff. So, all right, again, this is just place sand that I washed. Let's flatten it out. You need to order another light for this tank, but in the meantime, I'm gonna steal this one. There we go. Now we can see these cichlids, they're kind of buttholes. They like to play around in the sand, move it around. So I may be making this nice and level and decorated how I want it, but the cichlids are gonna move everything around and make it how they want it eventually. So what I'm doing now probably won't stick, but all right. Should we get the cave in or should we? Yeah, let's do the cave. Let's see, we don't have to center it, so maybe something like that. I don't think I like that. I think I like this all being open in the front so the fish can swim around back and forth. The sponge filter will be there. So I had this rock in the pool pond and I found this rock and I liked it because it had this natural cave. That was how I found the rock, so that's pretty cool. We have a big cave here, we'll have a little cave inside this rock. I would love to find more rocks just like this, but I think that's kind of one in a lifetime find. Maybe, doubt it. Anyways, we have a cool rock cave here. I dug a rock right there, standing up, and I have this big piece here. I just stuck this rock right on top of that. So now we have a double-decker cave, baby. Got the swim through here, got the cave underneath, and then a little, somewhat of a cave on the backside as well. This is the good thing about cichlid tanks. They are super easy, just sand and rocks, and cichlids are happy. I don't know what to do from here though, man. I'm kind of drawing a blank. I guess I could do like another archway, kind of like just this right here in the front. All right guys, I just got a new fish. He is acclimated. I'm about to release him. I need to get rid of the water though. Let's see. I'll just grab him out. But new cichlid for the cichlid tank. Now, I kind of wanted to introduce him into this new tank, but I have stuff to work on right now. I can't really finish this until later today, so I need to just go ahead and get this guy in the tank. So I'm gonna throw him in here with the other cichlids. Come here, buddy. Fast. I don't know the best way to do it, but we're doing it. That looks freaking awesome. All right, I gotta make sure these guys don't fight. I was a little worried this guy being a different color than the other two. See, look, they're already being super aggressive. Not good. Quit. These are very aggressive fish. Where's the other one at? The other one's somewhere hidden. Hopefully it does good. Check it out, man. You got this whole tank. It looks so cool. I'm definitely getting more of these albino. I guess they're snow white cichlids or whatever they are. Quit being so aggressive. These fish are just that aggressive, man. They're kind of a-holes, but they're cool. And it just happened to be the first fish I got for a tank. That's what you get for not doing research. I'm that guy. I did no research. I saw the fish, thought it was cool. It's like, I'll get some of these. And they just turned out to be like freaking aggressive. But I think having a cichlid tank is gonna be pretty cool. They'll be in this 20-gallon tank, so it'll be easier to overstock it. If you overstock cichlids, they won't be able to attack a single fish, and they won't fight as much. So for the last little detail, I just threw together 3 rocks to make this little teepee. You have an opening through here on the back side, and then one on top as well. I didn't want to overdo it, although I kind of feel like I am. I've seen a lot of cichlid tanks on YouTube where they're just like rock, 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 rock. And it's just very plain, very basic, but I did want to do a little something cool, and I think this is pretty cool. Double-decker cave, I mean, come on. We got a rock cave, natural rock cave. I didn't make that. All right, that's what Mother Earth did to that rock, and that is awesome. 2 little spots there in the back, and a spot right here. I wanted to make sure there was enough spots for each fish to hide. Of course, we only have 3 right now, but you saw what happened when I threw that white fish in there. They were already going after it, so I want each of these 3 fish for now to have a hiding spot. All right, so here is what I'm gonna do now. This filter, you guys can't see, this filter has been in here. It is full of good bacteria, so I'm gonna swap out these 2 sponge filters. That way the tank with the fish gets all the good bacteria. I may actually move that filter in here as well, and then throw the new filter in this tank. This tank won't have any fish in it for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and get some water. So my plan for the water is I'm gonna take half of the water here, fill it up about halfway, maybe 3/4 of a way, and then we'll top the last quarter off with new water. It'd be kind of like a water change, but this water is cycled, ready to go. The bacteria bloom is good and gone, so this water should be able to stay pretty clear without having to get cloudy. Now I saved all this rock that came in the Betta tank for the Cichlid tank, and also just went and got some even nicer river stones. And I thought about throwing this black pebble down as well in this tank, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I really like how this looks, and I'm thinking about doing that. We could have one go in here, and then this next one go into there, and then just come out over here. And then all this front will be sand, and all the back will be the black little pea gravel rock. I think I may have to do it. I think I want to try it. Oh man, I'm gonna do it. I'm going for it. Screw it. I did so much and you guys can't even tell. I'll show you all the back here in a second. And again, these cichlids, they'll just move this around. Doesn't even matter. Alright, what do I think of it? Honestly, I don't know. There's no like wow factor, but it's not bad. And again, the cichlids will just screw all this up. But basically what I did was, I left all the little caves, sand, one back there, sand, all inside here is all sand. And I tried doing the whole rounded off thing with the rock, but it's hard to control the rock. But all this back here is all rock. All rock back there. Sponge filter sitting on rock. That's gonna be the finished product. It's alright. It's good for the fish, is what I should say. It's not like wow to me, or probably not to humans, but to the fish, I think the fish are gonna love it. Having all the structure, having all the rocks, having all the hiding spots, so that's good. Now to fill this up, I already explained it. I'm gonna take about half of this water here, because this is the water the fish are in now. They're used to it, it's good. To do this, I'm just gonna be using the gravel vacuum, pouring it into this bucket here, and then scoop it out and put it in here. If only water could go up. All right, the first water going in this tank, I'm gonna pour it nice and slow until we get over the sand. I got the first gallon in there, but I need to reinforce this stand. You can see here I cut some 1x2s perfectly to fit right in here. I'm gonna screw those in on all 4 legs, and that will just give us some vertical support. So I got all the vertical supports added and screwed in, and I can now go ahead and fill up the tank. Okay, so I got the water up to here. I'm gonna fill the rest up with new water, but I'm actually going to squeeze. It's gonna be painful because this tank is so nice and clean right now, but I'm gonna squeeze all that beneficial bacteria out of the sponge into that tank just to get it started and just to keep these fish alive. Also gonna still this heater. This is a smaller heater, and I just got a bigger heater for this big tank here. Small one's keeping it at 76, and I would like it to be just a little bit higher, so hard to unplug. Once I get this guy done, I'm gonna clean up this wire mess here, but let's be quick. Throw that heater in this tank. Try to be careful, but it doesn't really matter because this water, oh, sorry bud, there's a fish back there. This is the water from this tank, so same exact water. I'm gonna get off all the big stuff, and this is gonna be painful, but here we go. This fresh, new, clean tank. I'm gonna squeeze out all of this sponge into this tank, and that's just gonna get some good beneficial bacteria growing. Goodbye crystal clear water. It will clear up again, but see all that stuff shooting out? Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. We'll get some good beneficial bacteria growing on all this sand and all these rocks. This will settle as I let this water heat back up to where it was with this heater. Let's throw this in the big tank. But we got the heater in. Man, this tank looks absolutely destroyed. I guess it kind of is, but not for long. I need to go ahead and splash these plants in. Alright, next up I am taking this filter out of this tank and replacing it with this one. For now it's just going to be water agitation for the fish until this tank is ready, pretty much. So this filter is full of ceramic rings, which is full of beneficial bacteria. And again, just a sponge. I talked about that in the last video, but if you haven't seen it, this filter is loaded with beneficial bacteria. And also it sits on that rock, so it's like kind of perfect. It won't be sinking down like it was before. The suction cups on this guy sucks. Also, I think it's missing a piece that holds it up, but got the filter on and running. It's gonna shoot out a bunch of this dead tree matter, but it will catch it again. All right, so I got the tank all set up. It is kind of full once I put that filter in there. We probably don't need this secondary filter, but I'm gonna leave it running for a while, probably a week or so, just because this tank still needs a cycle. Should've got some freaking bacteria starter today, dang it. I don't like what this filter is doing to the sand. I do have a rock. I'm gonna try to cap it for now. But I'm going to add more water to this. That shouldn't be an issue, hopefully. Who knows, the cichlid may like that. They just dug a hole for him, honestly. Alright, just let this sit here for a while. I got 3 cichlids to throw in here, but eventually this will have a bunch of cichlids. Not too much, but you know, just enough to where they don't fight. Alright, the water is clearing up. I'm gonna go ahead and add some new fresh water to it. Alright, so it is the next day and I got some beneficial bacteria. I'm gonna go ahead and treat this tank. We need about 20 millimeters. And then we can add the fish to this tank. Here is 10 and 20. Doesn't hurt. I just had 30 minutes of absolute pleasure of catching these guys from the big tank. That was horrible. These guys are turds. Here, look, I didn't just sell y'all, alright? Now you're probably wondering why am I moving these fish. I started with this tank, and the first fish I got were these 2 cichlids. And I learned they're very aggressive. And I want this to be a big community tank. A lot of plants. And cichlids wouldn't work out with other fish. So I had to make them a whole new tank. They are now acclimated, ready to be put into their new home. Let's see where they go. I just came home after not being here all day, and the first thing I saw was this tank and the cichlids, and they look so freaking sick. Just fed them. Looks awesome, dude. I can't wait to get a whole lot more. I'm gonna get more of these blue Johannes, way more of these white ones, Snow White, whatever they are. And then of course the yellow. I heard the yellow are the females, so I do want to get some yellow ones in here as well. But man, it looks so good. There's a really bad glare back here for the camera. Not necessarily for my eyes, but let me turn that down. Maybe it will look better on camera. Yeah, that's better. Easy. These guys, they got the color back. They're so dark. They were pretty white looking in that last tank setup. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they look so much better. These guys are no longer fighting. I think these small guys realize the white one's bigger and they better stop fighting him. And I'm loving this tank. Cannot wait to get more. I'll keep it updated each time I get more fish. Here's a new tank. I'm digging it. It's growing on me. And they seem to like all the little cubby holes I made, so I'm stoked with it. That was cool. That was a cool shot. Came right towards the camera.